Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to make homemade strawberry ice cream. This recipe comes from the Pirate's House Savannah Cookbook, which is out of print right now, but this is the best recipe we have found for homemade ice cream. I've tried several, but I always come back to this one, and it's called Best Vanilla Ice Cream. You can add any kind of fruit you'd like. Now, I will put the ingredients into the comments, but you have to have 4 eggs, which I've cracked in this bowl, and then you just add the sugar a little bit at a time and get it mixed up. I usually add about 1/3 cup at a time. Okay, you want to mix that up real good after every addition of sugar, because you don't want your sugar to settle in the bottom of the bowl, because when you go to pour it in your ice cream churn, you'll find out all the sugar down there in the bottom, so you want to keep it mixed up. Okay, now I'm going to add my quart of heavy cream to this. This is really easy to do, y'all. Billy and I we wanted to get an old-fashioned ice cream churn about, I don't know, 8 or so years ago. Dang, that's hard to open. And we never could find one, because we both remember making this when we were kids, and how just before it gets done, it's so hard to turn. But the only one we could find was electric ones, so that's what I'll be using. Okay, that's a quart of heavy cream. Now it's going to be a quart of milk, regular whole milk. You want to have all your ingredients good and cold, because if you don't, it's going to take you twice as long to mix it. And I told you I didn't have the other half a quart of milk, so I'm going to use this can of Carnation, which is 12 ounces, and so I'm going to add 4 ounces of water to bring it on up to the 2 cups that I needed to make a 1.5 quarts. Then you need to add a 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, one thing I've learned making this recipe is you want to just stir this in good, because if you start whipping it in with your blender, you're going to put too much air, and you're going to have too much. It's going to start whipping up like whipped cream. So when you start to pour it in your churn, it's going to overflow, because it's just going to be way too much. Now, okay, got that done. Now y'all saw how this looks, and I'm going to stir it up one more time to get any sugar that may be stuck to the bottom, so we'll be sure and get it all in there. And then I'm going to pour it in there. You see how it looks. Like I said, I've did it. It took me a while to figure it out that you don't beat it with the beaters once you get that whipping cream in there, or it just puts too much air, and you can't fit it all in there. Now this is going to be strawberry ice cream, but I've also learned to add the strawberries or whatever fruit after it's frozen, and I'll tell you about that when we get to that part, and I'll be back in a few minutes once it gets made. Okay, I'm back. It took about 45 minutes in our churn to make it, and I just wanted to tell y'all that you can add a quart, 4 cups of whatever kind of fruit you want to, but the recipe will call for adding it either halfway through churning the ice cream, or wait till it's done and stir it in. And from experience, I can tell you, wait till it's done, because if you put it in there when it's halfway through, it's just going to get stuck in this beater. The fruit, we've done peaches, which is great, and we've done strawberries, which is great, and we've done scuppernong grapes, which is terrible. Don't waste your grapes doing that. But anyhow, once you get it where when your ice cream, it took ours, like I said, about 45 minutes. And once you get to that point, take your beater out and add your fruit. Now, about your fruit, you want to add, I found it takes about a cup of sugar per cup of, let me get a plate, per cup of fruit, because if you don't add plenty of sugar, your fruit will freeze hard like an ice cube, and you don't want that. But the sugar is what keeps your fruit from doing that. You want to cut your fruit up, add your sugar, and let it sit at least a couple hours. This has been sitting overnight. And then take your potato masher and crush it. Crush your fruit. You know, before you add it to your ice cream, you want to crush it. So these strawberries and sugar have been sitting overnight, and I'm going to add them. And I'm going to add them a little bit and then stir it down and then add some more. And so basically that's all there is to it. And I can tell you, this is going to be some kind of good right here. You're going to need your big, strong spoon to be able to stir down to the bottom of this and get it all added in there. There's a little bit of air pocket. But this is going to end up making, I guess it's about 2, almost 3 quarts of ice cream. And so you want to stir it down in there good, because when you use these churns, it doesn't get actually hard. It's more like soft serve ice cream, but you stir your fruit in and then either leave it packed in this ice or put it in your freezer and let it finish freezing. And it is mighty good, I'll tell you that much right now. I mean, it's as good as, better to me than any kind you can actually buy. And see how pretty that looks? It just turns so pretty and good. It's just delicious. And so that's all there is to it, y'all. And I'm going to take it and put the lid on it, and I'm going to leave it sitting in this ice just a minute, and then I'm going to put it in the freezer. But it'll be mighty good, I can tell you that. And I hope y'all enjoy it. If you do, click the subscribe button and like it. I think I've got about 8 videos, but anyway, I hope y'all enjoy it. Bye for now.